So let me ask you something. Have you ever really stopped to think about how you experience the world? It's easy to assume our eyes and ears are just, perfect little cameras, passively recording whatever's out there. But what if that's totally wrong? What if your reality isn't something you see, but something you create, moment by moment? Yeah, let's get into this, because what science is telling us is that your brain isn't a camera at all. It's actually a detective.
There's this amazing line from the novel Grendel where the monster says, "I create the whole universe, blink by blink." And look, that's not just some cool poetic line. It's actually getting at a deep, fundamental truth about how we work. We don't just passively receive the world, we actively build it. We're the architects of our own reality from the ground up.
This idea actually goes way back. The philosopher Plato had this brilliant analogy for it. He talked about prisoners in a cave, chained up their whole lives, facing a wall. All they can see are shadows projected on that wall. To them, those flickers of light and dark, that is reality. They don't know anything else. Well, in a way, that's us. Our senses don't give us a direct line to the outside world. They just give us the shadows, the raw bits of light, sound, and pressure. So the real question, the big mystery is, how on earth does our brain figure out what's casting those shadows?
All right, so let's start with the evidence. Let's take a closer look at these so-called shadows on the wall. What are our senses actually picking up from the world?
And this really is the central mystery we're tackling today. I mean, if all your senses are getting are these filtered, messy bits of light and sound and pressure, how do you get from that to the rich, meaningful world you experience every day? How does that chaotic noise become the feeling of recognizing your friend's face, or the warmth of the sun on your skin, or that feeling you get when you're completely lost in a song? How do we get from messy data to real, deep meaning?
Okay, so the first step in solving any case is to meet the detectives on the ground. In this case, that's our sensory systems. But we've got to be clear about something. These are not perfect, all-seeing witnesses, not at all. Think of them more like a team of specialists, where each one has a very, very specific job and a narrow focus.
Yeah, our senses are absolutely not windows to the world. They're filters. Imagine all of reality is out there, this massive flood of information. Our senses don't take it all in. Instead, each one is designed to grab only a tiny, specific slice of that reality. Our eyes grab certain wavelengths of light, our ears grab certain frequencies of sound, and they just ignore everything else. So what we get isn't the whole picture. It's a highly edited, curated version of it.
And just look at how different the evidence is that each of these specialists brings in. Vision is all about light, its wavelength, its intensity, picked up by cells in your retina. Hearing, on the other hand, is about vibrations in the air, pressure changes detected by these tiny little hair cells in your ear. Touch is about physical pressure and temperature. And taste and smell? They're basically chemical detectors. Each one is speaking a completely different language and gathering a totally different kind of clue.
So, what you end up with is, well, a total mess. The raw evidence our senses deliver is fundamentally ambiguous. It's noisy, it's incomplete, it's got huge gaps in it. Think about it. A specific pattern of light hitting your eye doesn't scream, "That's a car driving towards me." By itself, a vibration in your ear has no inherent meaning. It's just raw, meaningless data.
So if the evidence coming in is a chaotic jumble, how does anything ever make sense? Well, this is where the lead detective comes in, the brain. Its job is to take all this messy, incomplete evidence from its team of specialists and figure out what in the world is actually going on out there.
But how? I mean, really, how does it pull off this incredible trick? How does the brain take a constant flood of chaotic, noisy signals and transform it into the stable, solid, meaningful reality that you and I live in every single moment?
To get this, you have to understand the huge difference between sensation and perception. Sensation is just the raw data coming in. It's the filtered input, the noisy evidence, the shadows on the wall. But perception, that's the brain's final story. It's the meaningful interpretation. It's not the shadow, it's the brain's best guess about the thing making the shadow.
And it does this by following a process that looks a lot like a detective solving a case. Let's walk through it. Say you hear a buzzing sound. Okay, step 1. Gather evidence. Your ears pick up the vibrations. Step 2. Consult past cases. Your brain immediately flips through its files. What buzzes? Bees, phones, clippers. Step 3. Form a hypothesis. It looks at the context. You're outside, near flowers, and it makes an educated guess, most likely a bee. And finally, step 4. Solve the case. The brain commits to that story, and bam, you perceive a bee. And all of this, it happens in an instant, without you even thinking about it.
The brilliant psychologist William James put it perfectly. He said we have a perception of probable things. And that's exactly it. We're not seeing what's definitively out there. We're seeing what's probably out there. Your entire conscious reality is just your brain's best guess.
So what's the end result of all this incredible detective work happening in your head? Well, it's everything. It's the entire reality you experience, full of people and places and meaning. I mean, think about what this process actually lets you do. It's what allows you to pick a friend's face out of a massive crowd. It's why the smell of coffee isn't just a chemical signal, it's your entire morning routine wrapped up in a scent. It's how a few notes of a song can make you feel incredible joy or sadness. This is so much more than just identifying things. It's about weaving a web of meaning and context around everything.
And that, right there, is the ultimate magic trick. Perception grabs these fleeting, temporary sensations, a quick flash of light, a passing sound, and it anchors them to the stable, enduring world. It pulls order from the chaos. It builds a reality for us that's not just about what's right here, right now, but one that's also soaked in memories of the past and filled with possibilities for the future.
You know, it's easy to think of perception as just another box to check in the brain's to-do list, right next to memory and emotion. But the way we understand it now, it's so much more fundamental than that.
Because here's the final verdict, the big takeaway from neuroscience. Perception isn't just a piece of the puzzle. It is the puzzle board itself. It is the functional centerpiece of absolutely everything you think, feel, and do. Learning, remembering, deciding, feeling, all of it is built on this foundation. It all starts with the brain's incredible, constant act of interpretation. It's the very core of your conscious life.
Which leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending question to chew on. If your entire reality is a construction, if it's just your brain's best guess based on the very specific, limited data it gets, well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else might be possible to perceive? What other realities could be constructed with a different set of filters or a different set of past experiences?